Greetings. Today, I will address the propaganda that is being spread among certain people who call themselves conscious. My goal is to inform the viewers and distance myself from these individuals.
It is impossible for a man to produce a woman or a man to produce a man. If a man can produce another man, then show me the science on how it is done. But I tell you what can be done. A woman can produce a man, and she can also produce a woman.
This statement makes absolutely no sense. Aside from the fact that neither the male or female can have a child alone, the male, and only the male, carries both sex chromosomes.
And not only that, it's been scientifically proven that the egg does not need any spermatozoa in order to produce the egg. I want y'all to go look up Aura seminelis. There is no evidence that sperm enters an egg.
Here, he is referring to parthenogenesis.
The third way that we make cells is by this process of parthenogenesis. And this is a fascinating process where the egg is activated without fertilization, so there's no contribution of sperm, and it's tricked, if you will, into developing into an embryo. It can never develop into a full organism. It can never develop into a full organism.
The reason why the embryo would never grow into a full human is because parthenogenesis induces the woman's egg to produce an exact duplicate of its own chromosomes. This will lead to deformities in the embryo and prevent it from developing. But, when a man's chromosomes combine with the woman's, one of the sex chromosomes gets deactivated. It is only through this deactivation that an embryo can grow into a human being. This fact proves that the sperm does in fact enter the egg. If it did not enter the egg, as this man is claiming, then the egg would only turn into an embryo from the spark given by the alkaline within the man's sperm. Again, if this were to happen, the woman's chromosomes would self-duplicate, resulting in a failed pregnancy.
90 degrees, and you got 490 degrees angle there, times 90 degrees by 8, and you got 360 degrees. You understand what I'm saying? Right here, 90 times 4 is 360 degrees. So you put both of them together, you got 720 degrees. Why is the X and the X, this don't add up to even 360 degrees?
Okay, so
it don't add up.
So what's your point?
My point is this. Mathematically, the Y chromosome is a degenerate.
This is more nonsense. It is true that the Y chromosome has degenerated over millions of years. It used to contain over 1,000 genes along with the X chromosome. Today, it has between 50 and 80 active genes. However, it is not merely a degenerated X chromosome. There are genes present on the Y chromosome that are not present on the X chromosome. If it were a degenerated X, this would not be the case. The Y chromosome is also the fastest evolving chromosome. A couple reasons why it has less genes is because, unlike other chromosomes, the Y deletes genes that are non-essential or bad. It is not a degenerated X chromosome. It is simply a different chromosome.
A man is nothing more than a degenerate woman, a degenerate female. All life, listen to me, listen. All life begins as female. Under a microscope, all embryos up into the 7th week are female.
This is also false. The sex of the embryo is determined as soon as the sperm fertilizes the egg. If the fertilizing sperm carried a Y chromosome, then the embryo is a boy. If it carried an X, it is a girl. Both male and female sex organs are developed from the same bud that appears in the 6th week, called a genital tuber. Prior to the appearance of this bud, there is nothing. As you can see, even up until the 9th week, the bud is the same for both genders. If it is a male, the male organs will grow after the 9th week. Same for the female. Again, the claim that all embryos start off as female is false. It is disturbing to see these men promoting ideologies that were promoted first by feminists. lesbians. Had they done proper research, they would have found out that these women had flawed information. But, let's take a break from all of the science mumbo-jumbo. They say the black woman is God. They say she is spiritually, mentally, and physically superior to the man, and that man is nothing more than a degenerated woman. If common sense does not tell you that this is bullshit, then you do not have common sense. Let's look at the black man and the black woman when they were in their peak. Let's separate the black man from the black woman. Both sexes will be allowed to take with them everything that they created in the world. Let's look at the living conditions of the black woman. Yes. The only thing that the black woman has created is a hut. I also question if the first female-built huts were built under the guidance of men. I would argue that her habitat would look more like this. Damn. That does not look secure at all. Let's look at how the black man would have been living. Damn. It looks like the black men's living conditions would be the same. How can this be the contribution from species who are inferior to the species who would be forced to live in a forest? These individuals claim that it is the white men who put the man above the woman. If this is true, then how do they explain the god, Nun, being the very first deity, according to the creation story of the lower kingdom? He also gives birth to another male deity, Amun-Ra. In the lower kingdom, the first deity is Amun-Ra. How do they explain over 99% of pharaohs being men? This does not sound like the actions of people who saw black men as degenerate, inferior beings, in the company of the black female God Almighty. The problem that we see with these men today is that they are nothing more than modern leaders of feminism. They are nothing but effeminized males with big mouths. Their agenda reinforces the agenda of white supremacy. To degrade the black man's existence. To place the black woman above the black man. Is this what they consider balance? The black man accepted the black woman as his equal, based on the black woman's role in the cycle of life, along with her attributes as a woman, of being nurturing and loving. White men did not respect the white woman in the same way that the black man respected the black woman. Today, rather than creating balance among themselves as black people, these men are responding to the white man's program by reversing his program. They are more than happy to do this because they are effeminized males who carry the same disdain in their hearts against other black men that feminists have. These men should be avoided by intelligent black men as well as intelligent black women.